Hello, and welcome to episode 22 of D Nice Knits. My name is Denise, and you can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as DNice515. I'd like to thank new and returning viewers for coming to hear me talk about yarn for about 20 to 25 minutes. I haven't podcasted in 2 months. I just haven't been in the greatest of moods, and people are home all the time now. So today I got the opportunity to podcast, and I also didn't want to miss Christmas in July. So I wanted to do a Christmas in July episode because if you've watched any of my other podcasts, you would know that I love Christmas a lot. Some would say I'm obsessed with it, and I listen to Christmas music all year round, but in Christmas in July makes me happy. My best friend actually bought me the shirt for my birthday, which is in May. It's a LuLaRoe tunic, and it has like penguins and Christmas and everything, and she knew it didn't matter when she gave it to me that I would love it, and I do, and I'm wearing Christmas earrings also, just to be fun. So this is my Christmas in July episode. I do have a few Christmas things that I'm working on this year. This year I have the goal to knit a pair of Christmas socks every month for the year, and so far I've kept up with it. I've had to move things around a little bit, but I've caught up. I've stayed up with it. So I have a list because I have a lot, and I'm sorry for all that I'm going to talk, and I will try not to talk fast, but I do get really excited about knitting and yarn, and I talk fast. So I'm sorry, but I will try. So I have finished objects, I have whips, and I have some new things. So my first finished object, I will start where I always start, and that's with socks. I have Christmas socks. So we're gonna start with my May Christmas socks. Oh, maybe I should start with my mystery socks first. Yes, I'm gonna start with a mystery sock. This was a Cal, and a mystery sock along from my friend Sarah from my knitting group. She sewed the bag and she put together mini skeins. Mini skeins to make instructions, and there were little gifts for every day of, gosh, was that May? Yeah, of May. So these are the socks right here, and I love them. And you can see where I carried the yarn up. And then this, I don't know, somehow I was carrying the yarn and it ended up in the front of the sock. So I just have to, obviously, I haven't sewn on some of my ends. I never sew on my ends. So these are Sarah's mystery socks, and I like this because every day, I think you did 10 rounds. So as you can see, I don't have my regular, what are these called? Stitch markers on there, because that was the start of the leg from the heel. And I did it fish lip, kiss heel, and toe up, just like I always do. And I used, on most of my socks, unless I say so, I use US 2.5 millimeter needles, a US 1.5, and I do 60 stitches. I do toe up with Judy's Magic Cast On, a fish lips kiss heel, and then I do usually a 12, but I think this is 15 rounds of ribbing, and then I use Jenny's stretchy bind off with a US 5, and that's my sock formula, my basic sock formula. So that's these socks, and I love them, and I love that they match the bag. You can't really tell, but these colored ones are, ooh, there you go, they're sparkly. And I loved it, I loved it, I loved it. And I believe she's coming out with another mystery sock along, but I think this one is choose your own adventure, so I think everybody's socks will look different. And that's supposed to, I think, in August. Sarah, let me know. I think it's in August. I will buy them. So it's made by Sarah S. Right? I'll put her website here, and she has a Ravelry group too. So then I'm gonna go to my Christmas socks. I have 3 Christmas socks that I finished. These are my May socks, which I did not finish until when did I finish? I finished these in June, and I'll tell you why. This is where I was the last time, I believe, on this sock. And then this one I had almost done. I was on the ribbing here. And I have Christmas stitch markers, and then I put stitch markers every 10 rounds, so I know I do 65 rounds, and then the heel, and then I do about 60, I think this was 60 rounds, and then the ribbing, which is, this again is 15, and then Jenny's stretchy bind off. But with this sock yarn is King Cole Zigzag that I got on warehouse.uk.co, and they're shipping to America again. So if you want like affordable commercial yarn, you can get really good prices on Drops Fable and some Opal yarns, and the shipping is affordable. I think it's like $5 shipping to America. It takes like 14 days, but that's fine. they're shipping to America again. So this yarn, and it's a little thicker than regular fingering weight yarn. So I was supposed to do, see where this is going, a 1.5 millimeter needle, and I was supposed to do 58 stitches. So on this sock, this one, I got up to the heel and I noticed that I only had 54 stitches. So I ripped all the way back and I went up to 58 stitches, supposed to be 58 stitches. And when I went to do the heel, I counted 30 instead of 28, because you're supposed to do half. 26. You're supposed to do half the stitches on the heel. So this heel is a little thinner than my usual Fish Lips Kiss heel. So that's how it's supposed to look. And then this is what this looks like. This sock gave me so many problems. So this one had 54 stitches and I did the heel over 56, and then this one had 60 stitches and I went back and, no, this one came out fine. It was this one that was the messy, annoying girl. So that's done. Of course, once again, my ends are not woven in. I didn't even cut it off of the yarn here, as you can see. And that's it. I like them. They're cozy. They fit even though I messed up. And then the next socks I have are my June Christmas socks. So that's these right here. These are very sparkly. And here I go again. These are on US 1.5, 60 stitches per round. Judy's Magic Cast On, Jenny's Cast Off, Fish Lips Kiss Heel, 10 rows every, a stitch marker every 10 rounds, 65 rounds. And then I think I did 50 here, and then 12 ribbing, and then Jenny's stretchy bind off on a US 5. So that's these. This is, I have the other yarn here. This is King Cole again, party yarn in the glitz. And when I bought this, I didn't notice that it does not have any wool in this yarn at all. It is acrylic. I don't know what PBT means, and metallic yarn. So that's that yarn. And this is the Grinch colorway. And then my July socks, I have 2 pairs of July socks because it's Christmas in July. So I usually, every year, so far since I started doing all this stuff, I would do 2 pairs of Christmas socks in July. So this is my first pair of Christmas socks that I finished. This is that Party Glitz yarn again. And this yarn I striped myself, like my friend Sarah from Knitting Group recommended before, instead of making my own self-striping yarn to just stripe 2 yarns. So that's what I did here. So it's 5 rows of each color, and I did opposites. So on this one I have a green toe and green cuff and a red heel, and then here I have a red toe and a red cuff and a green heel. And so they're the opposites, and I think they're cute. And this again is that King Cole Party Glitz 4-ply, and in the color, the green is Elf. Yes, the green is Elf, and the red is Santa. And you'll see that yarn again in my works in progress. So those are all the socks that I finished since May. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 pairs of socks, not bad. And then I have a blanket that I finished. I have been doing corner to corner blanket. I did a corner to corner blanket for my daughter, which I'll post here. A Christmas blanket, which I'll post here, which I love posting them. And every time I talk about corner to corner blankets, I will post them all probably. So here's pictures of them. And then so this blanket, I don't know how I'm going to show it to you because it's big. It is 70 clusters by 80 clusters. So that's that right there. And this is my chevron blanket, which I am here showing you. I'm going to take a picture. I have not sewn in any ends as usual. And then last time I recorded, I had made a major boo-boo, and I had messed up here, I think it was, and I had indented, I had an indent here where it was like a little boop boop out, so I had to pull back all of this where this is here. From this up, I had to pull that all out because I was almost done. So this is where I was last time, and I finished it relatively quickly. And I love corner to corner blankets. There are a lot of ends to, this is a graph can, so there are a lot of ends to weave in. I charted this myself with the graph chart that I printed out at my job, and I love this part here. And as you can see, it matches my couch and the decor in my living room. So when spring comes, fall comes, we'll put that on my couch. And I'm excited because this is all the brown yarn that I had left. was really scared that I was gonna run out of brown, but I didn't run out of any of my yarns. It took less than 8 skeins, so it's about 7 skeins of yarn for that whole blanket. I still have to weave in the ends, but about 7 skeins of yarn. So that's that, and now I have works in progress. So I don't know where to start. I have socks, so I'll start with the socks again. We'll do Christmas socks. So I have a pair of red Christmas socks in the King Cole Party Glitz yarn again. So yeah, 4-ply. And so I'm doing it in red, and I didn't know that the yarn striped. Well, I had maybe an idea when I was doing the other pair of socks over here, because as you can see, like the colors change, but it was a much slower progression of the color changing. So I like that they stripe. I think it's cool. This yarn I also got from woolwarehouse.co.uk. Very good price. I don't think they have that anymore. I think it was discontinued. Maybe because it wasn't real wool. So here it is where I have 10, a stitch marker every 10 rounds, and then I have my fish lips kiss heel that I do all the time, and then I'm starting the leg on this one. And I've said before, I do my socks in tandem. So I started this one, I did the toe of this one, and then I did the toe of the green. So here's the green, the elf colorway, did the toe of the green, then I do the leg of the green, then the foot of the green, then the foot of the red, and then the heel, and then the heel, and then I did this leg, I started it, and then I started doing this leg too. So these are almost done. This will take me maybe 1 day at work, maybe 2 days at work to finish. So that's that sock. And then I started a pair of socks for my mother-in-law, because I realized that I don't have any Christmas socks for people yet. And for my mother-in-law, I usually give her a pair for her birthday and for Christmas. So my mother-in-law's birthday is in November, and then for Christmas I gave her another pair. So I decided that I would start another pair. But this pair was supposed to be for me. So this is Wendys Rome Fusion, once again from woolwarehouse.co.uk. So when you see it in the ball, it looks blue to me. I don't know, to me it seemed like it would be a blue sock, but it is not. It is a green sock, and I like it. It seems like what I think homespun, yes, would look like. So it's really cool how it's like all different colors. I don't know if you can see that. I don't know. It's like one color is twisted around another color. So this right here is green. This also I did on a US 1.5. I have my stitch markers. They're in green, so they're kind of hard to see. So I have my stitch markers every 10 rounds. I have my basic formula. Fish lips kiss heel again, 12 rounds of ribbing, and then the Judy stretchy cast off in a US 5. And then right here, that's probably the blue that I'm seeing on the outside of the yarn. But it looks very green to me, so this is gonna go to my mother-in-law. So the next thing I'm working on is socks for my grandmother-in-law, my husband's grandmother. And this is Patton's Croy in the Singing the Blues stripes. And this yarn I bought when AC Moore was closing. I bought a lot of Patton's Croy because I like Patton's Croy, especially as gifts, because you can wash in the washing machine and they look. Some of the socks that I made, I've been knitting socks for 5 years, and some of the socks that I've made from the beginning are in Patton's Croy, and they still look just like they did when I made them. So this sock is almost completely done. I just have to do the bind off, and the bind off is in, I use this DPN, the only time I use DPNs, in a US 5. I think it's a Clover DPN. Yes, it's a Clover DPN in a US 5. But with Patton's Croy, since I feel like this yarn is a little thicker than regular fingering weight, I do it on 56 stitches on a US 2, which is a 2.75 millimeter needle. Yes, and that's that, I think. Yeah, I think it's pretty. I have 2 skeins of that, and then my last work in progress, oh sorry, I have 2 more. So this one is the cardigan that I said, oh, I forget the name of it. I think it's the Sharona. I'll put it here because I don't remember the name of the cardigan. I have been working on this cardigan since 2016, and it is on scrap yarn because I put in the collar. So let me see. So So this is where I was last time I showed you this. I think I showed you this, or when I picked it up. So I know why I put this down. I put this cardigan down because I messed up. I got, it's a simple waffle stitch, which it's a paid for pattern, so I don't want it. It's a simple waffle stitch, and I got off and it became ribbing. So I had to rip out a whole skein of yarn. So yeah. So I stopped working on it. And this yarn is, oh gosh, what is this called? It's, oh, I have the link. It's from AC Moore. It's Nicole Miller's studio samples, and it's just like 1 pound of mill ends that come in a range of colors and fibers. So I don't know what fiber it is. I feel like it's wool and cotton blend, or it's a wool acrylic blend. I don't know. But I was not smart and did not, I thought since it was a commercial yarn that I could just use one ball and another ball and use another ball. But you can tell the color difference right here, and it's on the back, really, like right under the armpit. I started a new ball and you can tell the difference. But I don't really care, and if anybody's that close to me, I'm gonna be like, why are you next to me? So it fits great. I love the way it fits. I made it a little longer than I would like to. These are my decreases on my arms. I have to sew in right here where you picked up for the arm. The collar is different. I don't know if I'm gonna love it, but I put it on scrap yarn because I wanted, this is the first time, I believe this is the first time I picked up this many stitches. And I wanted to make sure it wasn't curling or anything, and it's not. So I've done, I think, 3 rows of the button band. So you have to do the collar and pick up the collar, as you can see, and make it longer. I guess it's gonna fold over, which is gonna be cool. I like that. Shawl collar, that's what it's called, and I like the length of it, and it's too hot to be wearing this right now, so I'm gonna take it off. So that is that blanket, and I have this yarn from my Grinch yarn holding it, so I don't lose any stitches. And this, I'm sorry, this blanket cardigan is knit on US 10.5, which they're not on the needles right. It's not on the needles right now because I was trying it on. Here they are. They're Addy Sharps. Nope. Hiya Sharps, and a US 10.5. And my last work in progress is another blanket. So I am making another blanket, but this one is another 1/4 blanket, and I think it'll be for my bedroom. Because in the winter I get really cold and my husband doesn't. So I want another blanket when he can have no blankets, or 2 blankets, or 1 blanket, whatever. So, but this one is gonna be easier because I'm just doing rows of 10, so it'll be a cast on where I put it, and then there'll be only one other end to sew in. So it'll be, I'm just doing stripes, so it'll just be striped. And I just started this, maybe it's like 1 or 2 days worth of work, not many days of crocheting, because it's too hot to work on blankets, to be honest. I haven't worked on any of my scrappy blankets, and yes, I have 2 other blankets on the needles, crochet needles, hook and needles, and I started another one, and I don't care. So there's this one. My husband said this yellow is not really me, but it's left over from the Christmas blanket I made, and I wanted to use it all. So it's gonna be yellow, blue, pink. I think I have a picture of how the color progression is gonna go. So I'm gonna put it here. And these are, here, where I have this Nicole Studio, again, from AC Moore, rest in peace, in the deep pink colorway. So it's all her Studio Classic by Nicole. So those are all my works in progress and my finishes. I've been crocheting a lot and going from thing to thing to thing, and I like doing that. I feel like I get things done, multiple things done, and I don't get bored with one. I just pick up something else, I make a lot of socks, so if I can use a different yarn, but still make socks. I did get a little bored with socks around June. I kind of stopped making socks for a little bit. After I made the Grinch sock, I started working on my cardigan. So I have 2 new things. Is it 2 or just 1? I have no idea where my paper is. 2 new things, yes. I have a bag from Jake, from my knitting group. His niece started sewing. I don't know if it was during the pandemic or if it was before the pandemic, but she started sewing, and she was sewing masks. And he ordered me a project bag because she started making project bags. So his niece Harriet is 12. And she made me a project bag, and I don't know if you can see this, but it says D Nice Knits. out of the leather, and it has a leather handle and leather on the bottom, and it's cats, but it's blue, which is my favorite color. I don't have a cat. I think that's cat, right? Yes, it's a cat. And it is sewn so well. Like, I don't think I could have done this good of a job. And I'm not 12, you know, like, such a good job, and I love it, and I use it all the time. I have my grandma's socks in them. So that's that new thing. And then another thing that I've become obsessed with a lot of people have, with the quarantine, I guess, but I'm late on it, was tie-dye. So me and my daughter have made tie-dye. So first I bleached a black shirt. So I made tie-dye for myself, my daughter, and my best friend. I bleached a black shirt, and then I used acrylic paint, which is a Pinterest thing, because I could not find tie-dye anywhere. Like Walmart, Joann's, Michael's. I even went to Hobby Lobby. No tie-dye at all. So my daughter wanted to make tie-dye on a regular shirt, but I'm like, I don't know what to do. So we used acrylic paint, and it worked really well, which I was really surprised. The shirt was a little stiff, just a little stiff, but it worked, and I'm very surprised that it wasn't a Pinterest fail. So I'm gonna put pictures of her shirt and my best friend's shirt. I don't know if I have a picture of my shirt. And then of course I ordered tie-dye from Hobby Lobby and Amazon because I was desperate, because my daughter wanted to do tie-dye and I gotta keep her happy somehow. So I ordered tie-dye from Amazon, and then the next 2 days, I went to Walmart and they had tie-dye, of course. And it was like $10 cheaper at Walmart than paying for shipping. But it is what it is. So when it gets here, we'll do tie-dye, and I'll show you those experiments, I guess. And then I believe Sarah has a yarn kit coming out in August, and I will be buying that. And then in October, I believe, but October or November, when West Yorkshire Spinners comes out with their Christmas colorway, I will be buying that, most likely from woolwarehouse.co.uk. And that's it. So I'm sorry I'm talking so long. Actually, it's not that bad. It's only 22 minutes, which is my usual. And my mom called me in the middle of this, so I hope the sound didn't get messed up. But I think that is all, and I hope you have a good day, and thank you for watching. Bye.